just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, my cut right off on the curve like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
Looking to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Hey, box truck.
2nd and 15. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Smith. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
So don't say nothing. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
On second down, here's Smith trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Lions will take over. A handoff to Spiller to begin the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Switch up.
Here's Spiller. Able to slither by. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They run with Spiller. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now Spiller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Eluding the pressure right. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. It got his man complete. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
This is Spiller. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
A gain of 16 yards.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready? Line 59. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. Give him 30 yards there.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. The bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Bravo.
2nd and 6. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Myers connects on the PAT. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get that ball. Get that ball. Check.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Another carry.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
They'll set up a throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Watch the out. Watch the out. Bang, 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 bang.
And to give this time to the tailback. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Vincent Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Lamb. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They go back to the ground now with Smith. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. That's complete to Smith. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
I'm coming after you.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Here we go. Here we go. 15 running. 15 running. Here we go. D all day. D.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
We ain't giving them nothing today.
Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Pilot, 64, weak. Shoot.
From the shotgun, they run with Smith. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
A first down carry for Smith. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now loose football. The ball comes out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Now a handoff looking right. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what did they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
They just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Again, it's Smith. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
25, check 25, check 25. Coaching spell. Hey, seam 6, seam 6. 51's the mic, 51's the mic. Hey. Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 50 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Spike 3, 218, chop, get it.
On 1st down, it's Smith. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
54, Mike, 54.
2nd and 11. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Vincent Smith, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided in one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard, realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to air one out. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
Break. 51, Mike, 51. Try to do better. Come on, QB, come on. Check. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. On play action, they'll throw. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 20, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Call it a gain of 3, and it's a 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2nd and 5. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see. He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now this throw caught left side. That one goes for 30 yards. Now that's 2 big catches that he's had on this drive alone.
And I can hear it right now. If they give up a third to him, whoever does that, go stand on the other sideline. You're persona non grata on our team at that point.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14.
Makes the score Falcons 20, Lions 14.
So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll toss it to Smith. Room to run inside the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Smith. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Smith. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's good. 60 Pittsburgh.
On 3rd down, Smith. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first